Welcome back to Globewise Entertainment, your ultimate destination for all things media and entertainment. In today's video, child actors lost too early, 20 tragic Hollywood stories, we shine a spotlight on the young stars whose careers and lives were tragically cut short. From Judith Barsi's stirring voice work in The Land Before Time to Cameron Boyce's magnetic presence on Disney Channel, these talented individuals captured our hearts at a young age. Our tribute explores not only their most memorable performances but also the personal struggles that led to their untimely passing. Through archival footage, personal anecdotes, and heartfelt commentary, we honor their legacies and the indelible impact they made on film and television. Whether you're a longtime fan or discovering these stories for the first time, this video is for anyone who believes in keeping their memories alive. Don't forget to grab a tissue. These stories are as moving as they are unforgettable. If you haven't subscribed to Globewise Entertainment yet, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button and join our community. Make sure to ring the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into Hollywood's most compelling, and sometimes tragic, tales. Now, let's embark on this emotional journey together and remember the bright lights that shone all too briefly on the screen. 1. Judith Barsi, 1978 to 1988. Judith Eva Barsi's brief life was marked by extraordinary talent and profound tragedy. Born on June 6, 1978, in Los Angeles to Hungarian immigrants Joseph and Maria Barsi, she was discovered at the age of 5 and quickly rose to prominence through television commercials and guest spots on shows like Punky Brewster and Fatal Vision. By 1987, she had secured a role as Thea Brody in Jaws, The Revenge, and was celebrated for her voice work as Ducky in The Land Before Time and Anne-Marie in All Dogs Go to Heaven, both of which were released posthumously. Despite her stature, she was petite even for a 10-year-old. She commanded the screen with a maturity beyond her years, earning an estimated $100,000 annually by 4th grade, enabling her family to purchase a home in West Hills, California. Behind the scenes, however, Judith's home life was marred by escalating abuse at the hands of her father, whose alcoholism and paranoia led to repeated threats and violence toward both Judith and her mother. Though friends and family alerted authorities to the danger, insufficient evidence prevented timely intervention, a failure that would have devastating consequences. In the early hours of July 25, 1988, at just 10 years old, Judith and her mother were fatally shot by Joseph in a murder-suicide that rocked Hollywood and prompted widespread calls for reform in child protection services. 2. Heather O'Rourke, 1975 to 1988. Heather O'Rourke captured the hearts of millions with her angelic face and haunting performance as Carol and Freeling in the Poltergeist film series. With her iconic line, "They're here," she became an unforgettable figure in horror cinema at just 6 years old. Discovered by Steven Spielberg while dining with her mother at an MGM studio commissary, Heather's rise to fame was swift. She had a natural talent and an innocence that lit up the screen. But behind the bright lights of Hollywood, tragedy loomed. In early 1988, Heather began experiencing flu-like symptoms, which were misdiagnosed as Crohn's disease. On February 1, she collapsed at home and was rushed to the hospital. It was later discovered that she had an undiagnosed congenital intestinal abnormality that led to septic shock. Despite emergency surgery, Heather passed away the same day at just 12 years old. Her sudden and heartbreaking death stunned fans and cast a lasting shadow over the Poltergeist series, often cited in discussions of the so-called Poltergeist curse. Heather O'Rourke remains a poignant reminder of the fragility of life, and the sorrow of talent lost far too soon. 3. Cameron Boyce, 1999 to 2019. A bright light gone too soon. From the moment Cameron Boyce stepped onto the screen, his presence radiated charisma and talent beyond his years. Born in Los Angeles in 1999, Cameron was a natural performer, making his debut in films like Mirrors and Grown Ups, before charming millions as the mischievous yet lovable Luke Ross on the Disney Channel series, Jessie. His role in the Descendants film franchise further solidified his place in the hearts of young audiences around the world. But beyond his dancing, acting, and infectious smile, Cameron was deeply committed to making the world better. He worked tirelessly with charitable organizations, raising awareness and funds to provide clean water and fight homelessness. Friends and fans alike saw not just a gifted actor, but a young man with a compassionate soul and a heart full of purpose. Tragically, Cameron passed away in July 2019 at just 20 years old due to complications from epilepsy, a condition he had quietly battled. His death was a heartbreaking shock to those who knew and admired him. In the wake of his passing, the Cameron Boyce Foundation was established to continue his legacy of positivity, creativity, and social impact. Cameron Boyce's life may have been brief, but the joy and inspiration he brought continue to ripple outward, a reminder that even the shortest lives can burn incredibly bright. 4. Sawyer Sweeten, 1995 to 2015. Sawyer Sweeten grew up in front of millions of viewers as Jeffrey Barone, one of the adorable twin sons on the hit sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond. Alongside his real-life twin brother Sullivan and sister Madeline, Sawyer spent 9 years on the beloved show, charming audiences with his quiet sweetness and gentle humor. But the spotlight faded quickly after the series ended, and like many child stars, Sawyer found himself adrift in adulthood without the anchor of acting. Despite having a close-knit family and a promising future, Sawyer struggled with mental health challenges, struggles that remained largely hidden from public view. In April 2015, just weeks before his 20th birthday, he died by suicide at his family's home in Texas, shocking fans and devastating his loved ones. His death became a painful reminder that fame in childhood does not shield young actors from personal battles later in life. In his memory, his family and former castmates have spoken openly about mental health and the importance of support, hoping to break the silence that too often surrounds it. 5. Rob Knox, 1989 to 2008. Rob Knox was a rising star with a bright future when tragedy struck. Best known for his role as Marcus Belby in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Knox had just completed filming his scenes when his life was abruptly cut short. At only 18 years old, Rob stepped in to protect his younger brother during a violent altercation outside a bar in Sidcup, England. In a senseless act of brutality, he was fatally stabbed. His death shocked fans and devastated the Harry Potter community, casting a shadow over what should have been a moment of celebration for the young actor. Friends and family described Rob as kind-hearted, funny, and fiercely loyal, traits that shone both on and off the screen. To honor his memory, the Rob Knox Foundation was established to combat knife crime and support young creatives in the arts. Though his time in the spotlight was brief, Rob Knox's courage and talent left a legacy that continues to inspire. 6. Nikita Pearl Waligwa, 2005 to 2020. In 2016, audiences around the world were captivated by the story of a young Ugandan chess prodigy in Disney's Queen of Katwa. At the heart of the film was a vibrant young actress, Nikita Pearl Waligwa, who played Gloria, the warm and encouraging friend of Fiona Mutisai. With a natural charm and radiant smile, Nikita brought grace and authenticity to her role, winning hearts globally and shining a light on the talent emerging from East Africa. Behind her bright eyes, however, was a struggle few knew. In 2016, during the filming of Queen of Katwa, Nikita was diagnosed with a brain tumor. With the help of her school and the film's producers, she traveled to India for surgery, and for a while, it seemed she had triumphed. But in 2019, the cancer returned aggressively. Nikita passed away in February 2020 at just 15 years old. Her death sent shockwaves through Uganda and the global film community. Director Mira Nair and her co-stars remembered her as courageous, full of laughter, and wise beyond her years. Though her time was brief, Nikita Pearl Waligwa's performance in Queen of Katwa ensured she would never be forgotten. Her light continues to inspire young girls across Africa to dream big, fight hard, and never stop believing. 7. Anissa Jones, 1958 to 1976. At just 6 years old, Anissa Jones captured America's heart as Buffy on the hit sitcom Family Affair. With her endearing curls and iconic Mrs. Beasley doll in hand, she became a symbol of innocence and 1960s family television. But behind her cherubic smile was a young girl thrust into the spotlight too soon, struggling with the pressures of fame and the lack of a normal childhood. When the show ended in 1971, Anissa found herself typecast and adrift in an adult world she wasn't prepared for. Unlike many child stars of her time, she had no roadmap for what came next. By her late teens, she was living a life far removed from the glitz of Hollywood, dealing with fractured family ties and increasingly drawn to a crowd steeped in drug culture. On August 28, 1976, just days after turning 18, Anissa was found dead from a massive drug overdose at a friend's home in California. The toxicology report revealed a deadly combination of cocaine, PCP, quaaludes, and Seconal, a stark and tragic end for a girl who once lit up millions of television screens. Anissa's story remains a haunting reminder of how quickly childhood stardom can burn out, and how often it leaves emotional wreckage behind. 8. Jonathan Brandis, 1976 to 2003. Jonathan Brandis was a golden boy of the early 90s, captivating audiences with his expressive blue eyes and heartfelt performances. Rising to fame with roles in The Never-Ending Story 2 and as the charismatic Lucas Wolenzak on the sci-fi series Sequest DSV, Jonathan quickly became a teen idol. Beneath the surface of his popularity, however, lay the pressures of a child star growing up in the public eye. As he transitioned into adulthood, roles became harder to find, and the fame that once brought him joy began to weigh heavily on him. Though he remained a talented actor and writer, the industry's indifference to his adult career chipped away at his spirit. In November 2003, at just 27 years old, Jonathan Brandis died by suicide. His passing shocked fans and peers, a painful reminder that success in Hollywood does not always equate to inner peace. Today, he's remembered not only for his talent but for the quiet struggles he endured, and his story continues to raise awareness about mental health in the entertainment industry. 9. Brad Renfro, 1982 to 2008. Brad Renfro's career began like a Hollywood fairy tale. At just 10 years old, he was plucked from obscurity in Knoxville, Tennessee, to star opposite Susan Sarandon and Tommy Lee Jones in the 1994 legal thriller The Client. Critics hailed his raw talent and natural screen presence, and for a moment, it seemed a major star had been born. But fame came too fast and too young. Without the support systems that might have helped him navigate Hollywood's darker edges, Brad soon found himself tangled in real-life dramas more harrowing than any script. Substance abuse and legal troubles plagued his adolescence and early adulthood, despite strong performances in films like Sleepers, Apt Pupil, and Ghost World. Brad Renfro died of a heroin overdose in 2008, just 10 days before Heath Ledger's passing would dominate headlines. He was only 25. No red carpet memorials or Oscar tributes followed, just silence, and a lingering sense of loss. In the end, Brad's story remains one of immense promise overshadowed by pain, a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly bright lights can dim. 10. Gary Coleman, 1968 to 2010. From the moment Gary Coleman stepped onto the set of Different Strokes, his charm and comedic timing lit up television screens across America. Standing just 4 feet 8 inches due to a congenital kidney condition, Gary's stature made him instantly recognizable, but it was his wit and warmth that made him beloved. As Arnold Jackson, his catchphrase, "Watch you talkin' 'bout, Willis," became a pop culture staple. Yet behind the scenes, his life was far from sitcom perfect. Mismanagement of his earnings and legal battles with his adoptive parents left Gary financially strained. Hollywood, which once celebrated his uniqueness, struggled to find roles for him as he aged out of childhood fame. In his later years, Gary faced ongoing health challenges, worked various odd jobs, and even ran for governor of California. Though his spirit remained resilient, a tragic fall in 2010 led to a brain hemorrhage that claimed his life at just 42. Gary Coleman's story is a bittersweet reminder of the price many young stars pay for early fame, of how the spotlight can sometimes burn brighter than it should, too soon. 11. Corey Haim, 1971 to 2010. In the neon-lit glow of 1980s Hollywood, Corey Haim was a teen idol who seemed to have it all: charm, talent, and a magnetic screen presence that won over millions. Born in Toronto, Haim rose to fame in films like Lucas and The Lost Boys, where his vulnerability and boyish energy made him an instant star. But behind the fame was a young boy struggling with the pressures of stardom far too early. As the cameras stopped rolling, Haim's life spiraled into a cycle of addiction and failed comebacks. The weight of child fame, industry exploitation, and personal demons became too heavy. Though he fought hard for a return to the screen and often spoke candidly about his struggles, Corey passed away in 2010 at the age of 38 from pneumonia, compounded by years of substance abuse. His story remains a haunting reminder of the price too many child stars pay, and the boy behind the icon, who just wanted to be loved. 12. River Phoenix, 1970 to 1993. River Phoenix, a life cut short. River Phoenix was once the golden boy of Hollywood. Born in 1970, River showed promise from an early age, captivating audiences with his natural charisma and raw talent. His breakout performance came in 1986 with Stand By Me, where he played the emotionally vulnerable yet strong-willed Chris Chambers. The film was a huge hit, and River's performance quickly garnered critical acclaim. He was on the fast track to becoming one of the most beloved actors of his generation. By 1993, River had already established himself as a versatile actor with roles in My Own Private Idaho, Running on Empty, and The Thing Called Love. But his promising career was tragically cut short. On October 31, 1993, River Phoenix died of a drug overdose at the age of 23. He had been performing at the Viper Room in Los Angeles when he collapsed outside the club, leaving the world stunned and heartbroken. His death, while overshadowed by the star-studded world of Hollywood, was a reminder of the pressures that come with fame. River Phoenix had the world at his feet, but he also struggled with the intense scrutiny and challenges of growing up in the public eye. Despite his untimely passing, his legacy endures, with fans and filmmakers continuing to celebrate his talent and the promise he once held. The loss of River Phoenix is a poignant example of the tragic fates that have befallen so many talented child actors in Hollywood, whose bright futures were tragically extinguished far too soon. 13. Anton Yelchin, 1989 to 2016. Anton Yelchin's tragic death at the age of 27 shocked the world. Born in 1989 in Russia, Yelchin became a beloved actor in Hollywood, known for his roles in films like Star Trek, 2009, where he portrayed Pavel Chekhov, and Alpha Dog, 2006. His career was on an impressive upward trajectory, marked by his dedication to craft and the promise of a long career ahead. In June 2016, Yelchin's life was cut short in a freak accident at his home. While getting out of his car, the vehicle rolled down a steep driveway and pinned him against a brick pillar and a security fence. His untimely death sent ripples through the entertainment industry, with fellow actors and directors mourning the loss of a young star with endless potential. Yelchin's death highlighted the importance of remembering the often unseen dangers in everyday life. His family, too, would later take legal action against the car manufacturer, Fiat Chrysler, claiming that a design flaw led to the accident. Despite this, Anton Yelchin's legacy lives on in his memorable performances, reminding us of the fragility of life and the talent that was lost far too soon. 14. Jet Travolta, 1992 to 2009. Jet Travolta, the beloved son of actors John Travolta and Kelly Preston, was a rising star who tragically lost his life at just 16 years old. Born into Hollywood fame, Jet made his debut on the big screen at an early age, appearing in his father's films, including Be Cool and The Experts. Despite his young age, Jet had already shown a natural charisma and budding talent. His life, however, was marked by personal challenges. Jet was diagnosed with Kawasaki disease at a young age, and it was later revealed that he also struggled with autism. Despite these difficulties, his family did everything they could to provide him with a life full of love and adventure, often seen enjoying family vacations and participating in activities that allowed him to experience the world outside of the limelight. Tragically, Jet passed away in January 2009 while on a family vacation in the Bahamas. He was found unresponsive in a hotel bathroom and later confirmed to have died from a seizure. His death shocked the world, with tributes pouring in from both the public and Hollywood, as his untimely passing left a void in the entertainment world. Jet Travolta's story is a poignant reminder of how fragile life can be, and how the bright stars in Hollywood can sometimes fade too soon. His parents, especially, continue to honor his memory through charitable endeavors, aiming to raise awareness about the causes that were close to Jet's heart. 15. Justin Pierce, 1975 to 2000. Justin Pierce was a promising young actor who made his mark in the film Kids, 1995, where his performance as a troubled skateboarder captured the raw vulnerability and angst of adolescence. He gained attention for his natural ability to portray complex characters, often reflecting the harsh realities of urban life. Despite his early success, Justin's life took a tragic turn. Behind the scenes, he struggled with deep personal demons, including substance abuse and mental health issues. At just 25 years old, his potential was cut short when he died in a suicide in 2000. His passing sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, especially among fans and those who had witnessed his breakthrough in Kids. Justin's death was a reminder of the pressure that young stars often face and how, despite fame, they can still grapple with dark personal struggles. His story is one of lost potential, and he remains a symbol of the fragile nature of young Hollywood fame, where the harsh realities of life can sometimes overshadow the spotlight's allure. 16. Bobby Driscoll, 1937 to 1968. Bobby Driscoll, a name once synonymous with youthful innocence and Disney charm, tragically faded into obscurity far too soon. Born in 1937, Bobby was a golden boy of Hollywood in the 1940s and 50s. His big break came when he starred as Peter Pan in Disney's animated film, lending his voice to the beloved character. Bobby's performance captured the hearts of audiences, and he quickly became one of the brightest stars in the Hollywood firmament. But fame, as fleeting as it can be, wasn't kind to him. As he transitioned into his teenage years, Bobby's career began to falter. The industry's preference for fresh faces and the struggles of adolescence created a tough road for the young actor. Despite being a child star of considerable talent, Bobby found himself falling out of favor with Hollywood. The pressures of fame and personal struggles, including a growing dependency on drugs, made his later years even more difficult. In 1968, at the age of just 31, Bobby Driscoll's life came to a tragic and premature end. His body was found in an abandoned building in New York City, and the cause of death was determined to be heart failure related to his drug use. His passing went unnoticed for several days, as he had no immediate family in the city. Bobby's tragic demise was a stark reminder of the often harrowing lives of child stars who are thrust into the limelight without the necessary support to handle it. Bobby Driscoll's story is one of immense talent lost too soon, overshadowed by the dark side of fame. His legacy lives on in his early works, but his tragic end serves as a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of Hollywood's treatment of its brightest young stars. 17. Josh Ryan Evans, 1982 to 2002. Josh Ryan Evans, born in 1982, was a gifted child actor known for his role as the young version of the character Timmy on the soap opera Passions. Despite his remarkable talents and the love audiences had for him, Josh's life was tragically cut short when he passed away in 2002 at the age of just 20. His death was a result of complications from a rare heart condition called osteogenesis imperfecta, also known as brittle bone disease, a condition he had since birth. Josh's story was one of a shining star lost too soon, and his memory lives on through his work. He had already made an impression in Hollywood, appearing in other television shows and even movies, but it was his charm on Passions that truly captured the hearts of viewers. Those who worked with him praised not only his acting skills but his maturity and strength, which he displayed despite his physical challenges. His untimely passing left many in the entertainment world reflecting on the fragility of life and the tremendous potential Josh had yet to fulfill. Josh Ryan Evans' story is a poignant reminder that sometimes, even the brightest stars can burn out too soon, leaving us to wonder what more could have been. 18. Skye Bartusiak, 1992 to 2014. Skye Bartusiak was a bright young talent who first captured hearts with her performance in The Patriot, 2000, where she played Mel Gibson's daughter. Skye's charm and natural ability to bring emotion to the screen made her a rising star in Hollywood. However, her life was tragically cut short when she passed away in 2014 at just 21 years old. In the years before her death, Skye had faced struggles in her personal life, battling with depression and dealing with the pressures that often accompany childhood fame. Despite her early success, Skye was striving to find peace and stability in her life. Her passing was sudden. She was found unresponsive in her home in Texas, and the cause of death was later determined to be an accidental overdose from a combination of prescription medication. Skye's untimely death left many wondering what could have been. Her potential as an actress was clear, and she had shown great promise with roles in television shows and films after The Patriot. Yet, as with so many child actors, the rapid rise to fame often came with personal tolls. Skye's tragic story is a reminder of the fragile nature of life and the heavy price of fame, especially for those who start young. Her legacy continues to resonate with those who were touched by her talent and spirit. 19. Austin Majors, 1996 to 2023. Austin Majors was a talented child actor whose career began at a young age. He gained recognition for his role in the popular TV series NYPD Blue, where he played the son of the main character. His charm and natural ability in front of the camera made him a favorite among viewers, and he quickly became a rising star in Hollywood. Tragically, Austin's life was cut short at the age of 27. His passing came as a shock to those who knew him, and it left a void in the entertainment industry. Despite his promising future, Austin struggled with personal challenges that many young stars face when thrust into the spotlight at such an early age. The pressures of fame, growing up in the public eye, and trying to find stability were heavy burdens that took their toll. Austin's untimely death highlighted the dangers and difficulties that child actors often encounter. While he had a bright future ahead of him, his story is yet another reminder of the fragile nature of young stars who, despite their immense potential, often fall victim to the very industry that once adored them. His passing serves as a reminder that fame, while glamorous, can bring with it an immense pressure, and for those who lose their way, the road to recovery can often feel unattainable. Austin Majors will always be remembered as a bright light taken too soon. 20. Brandon Lee, 1965 to 1993. Brandon Lee, the son of legendary martial artist Bruce Lee, was a rising star in Hollywood when tragedy struck. Born in 1965, Brandon was no stranger to the limelight, having grown up under the intense scrutiny of the public eye. He was following in his father's footsteps and was poised to become a household name. His most famous role was in The Crow, 1994, a dark, action-packed film that was a tribute to his own journey. But fate would deal him a cruel hand. On March 31, 1993, while filming a scene for The Crow, Brandon was accidentally shot with a prop gun that was improperly prepared. The gun was meant to fire blanks, but due to a series of misfortunes, a live round was discharged, and Brandon was fatally wounded. He was rushed to the hospital but tragically died at the young age of 28. The loss was not just a blow to Hollywood but to his family, friends, and fans who saw Brandon as a talented actor with immense potential. His untimely death was surrounded by speculation and conspiracy theories, adding an extra layer of mystery to the already tragic incident. In a career cut short, Brandon Lee's legacy remains deeply tied to the role of Eric Draven in The Crow, where he portrayed a character seeking vengeance after his own untimely death, a role that now feels eerily prophetic. Thank you for joining us on this heartfelt tribute to the 20 young stars who left us far too soon. Their talent and spirit continue to inspire audiences around the world, and we hope this video has honored their memories in a meaningful way. Globewise Entertainment is your ultimate destination for all things media and entertainment, from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood to in-depth explorations of its most poignant stories. YouTube. If you haven't already, Make sure to subscribe now and ring the bell so you never miss a video. We release new content weekly, diving into celebrity profiles, industry news, film history deep dives, and more. Like this video if it moved you, and share it with fellow movie lovers who appreciate the legacies of these remarkable young actors. Drop a comment below to let us know which story resonated with you most, or who you'd like us to cover next. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, because at Globewise Entertainment, every story matters. See you next time.